Alright guys, and welcome to a long playing review of The Bounty Hunter on the Amstrad CPC from Codemasters. So it's budget game time again. You would have paid $2.99 for this back in 1989. Sorry I've only got the Specky box art there. I couldn't find the Amstrad one online anywhere, unfortunately. But we are treated to a very nice loading screen. I think this is very cool and very tastefully done, actually. It's one of the nicest loading screens I've seen on a budget game anyway. I like that a lot. So yeah, basically The Bounty Hunter is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up set in the Wild West, and is basically sort of a clone and rip-off of Gun.Smoke. If you remember, I did a long play of Gun.Smoke on my channel a few months ago, the Amstrad conversion. But Gun.Smoke was originally an arcade game from Capcom, and itself was basically an update or rip-off of an earlier game from Capcom called Commando. We all know Commando, hopefully. A vertically scrolling shoot 'em up, control one guy, moving up the screen, killing lots of enemies, and blowing things up. Okay, so well, Bounty Hunter was from Optimus Software. Usually the program was Jason Falkus. They did about sort of 6 or so games for Codemasters right in 1989. But Jungle Warfare, Pro Powerboat Simulator, Saigon Combat Unit, SAS Combat Simulator, and Super Tank. All pretty above average games, or budget games. And this is a very nice Gun.Smoke clone, as I said, but it also likes to mix things up with a mid-level Operation Wolf style shoot 'em up on horseback against a train, and ending up with sort of a one-on-one cowboy shooting each other styled in the way of Outlaw on the Atari 2600 or Midway's Gunfight in the arcades. But let's start this up. We're after Jack Nicholot. So they've used them using names of famous people. Jack Nicholson, of course. So we're shooting the Indians there. Pick up guns there, and that will increase our firepower. And that's certainly one thing up on the Gun.Smoke conversion to the Amstrad. There wasn't any gun power-ups on that. On this we can upgrade the gun quite a lot actually, and will come in very handy. And we'll find it's a lot more playable than Gun.Smoke. Gun.Smoke was incredibly difficult. Enemies can pop out from anywhere on the side of the screen, whereas this one on Bounty Hunter, they only seem to appear from the top of the screen, which makes things a little bit easier. They move around quite a bit and give you a run for your money, certainly. Occasionally shooting at you. So there's 4 stages in this game, split up into three parts. And let's just get to the end of the level as quickly as possible. Watch your ammo levels, of course, and watch out for those snipers. And you just need to reach the train tracks at the end of the level, which we are here, and just get rid of the remaining bad guy on screen. You can't shoot down though, you can only be looking up. Okay, nice shooting text, and now stop the train. So this turns into sort of a side-scrolling Operation Wolf sort of style, but very nicely done with sort of an attempt at parallax scrolling. Obviously move your horse left and right, which moves your gun sight left and right. You could also move the gun sight up and down. But you also need to judge your sight, because obviously as you're travelling at speed, the bullet will end up slightly away from your targeting. So aim just before the target, adjusting for speed. And when you reach the end of the train, there should be a stop button you need to shoot to stop the train, which you'll see any second. Yeah, there's the stop button, and I nearly missed it there. Stop the train and take him in, and you've got to shoot him in the legs and not in the head. There you go. And yeah, they've taken inspiration from the ancient Atari 2600 game Outlaw. there. So it's nice actually, good variety there. We've got 3 different types of game in one. So on to the second level, and this time we're in a town in the Wild West. My tip and hint for this game is just try and keep moving as much as possible, shooting every now and again. Certainly when you've got a good gun pickup like we have now, sort of a spread shot, you can start making progress. The screen can get quite cluttered with enemies and bullets and stuff like that. Thankfully the enemy bullets are in yellow, but they move quite quickly, so it's often sometimes too late to trying to distinguish between your white and their yellow bullets. But I have to say the graphics are nicely done, nice and colourful. If a little blocky, but it's done in mode 0. The sprites are decent enough. And we've got some nice music, of course, nice little intermission. Rip off the Ennio Morricone theme. Is it from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly? I can never remember. Decent enough sort of shooting sound effects. Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, whatever. But I have to say that really Jack Nicholson and Charles Bronson weren't really that well known for their cowboy movies. But yeah, this is actually quite a fun little level as well. Actually, all 3 are quite fun, and this is really good value for budget. For $2.99 back in 1989, I would have been very happy with this, but I never saw it for sale in any shops. So I probably would have picked it up actually if I'd seen the front cover and the screenshots on the back. Shoot the stop sign on the train. Remember, you got to shoot him in the legs and take him alive. You can just shoot him in the head, but you don't get any extra bonus points. So I've done this with shooting him in the legs every time for the purposes of this long play. That was risky. Take too long and he'll bugger off. There we go, got him. So on to basically level 3 of 4. There we go, Clint Eastwood. He takes the mountains now. So yeah, this is a good little Gun.Smoke clone, and actually probably ends up being better than the official Gun.Smoke conversion, actually. This is actually a lot more fun and playable. The Gun.Smoke conversion probably was a little bit better in terms of presentation, but I have to say they've done a really good job here. Scrolling's smooth enough, but the sprites move around nice and fluidly and smoothly. Controls are really responsive. Done a decent job on the graphics. Very little slowdown. Nice music. Nice presentation throughout. What more can you ask from a budget game? And they've kind of gone the extra mile there with the train sections and the shootout section. Overall, great little package. Like it a lot. Would have been nice to have some kind of like train sound on this level, or whatever. But yeah, this is very nice. So credit to Optimus Software and yeah, I have to say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give it a review score now. I think I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's not the greatest game in the world. It's, you know, pretty simple stuff. Once you've played it a few times, you should be able to complete this. Only got 3 lives. I don't think you don't get any bonus lives in the game. You may get a couple of restart points on the horizontally scrolling sections. So it's yeah, it does present a good challenge, but with only four stages really, 4 levels. Well, I suppose it does make 12, but it's quite a short game overall. As you can see, we're going to complete this sort of within sort of 10 minutes really. If you take off my intro and the music, the actual gameplay is probably less than 10 minutes really. But this is definitely worth a blast, guys. Good simple shooting fun. Yeah, so onto the final train to Kodak. So yeah, Kojak probably or something. Right, yeah. There's no ending to the game, unfortunately, so if you're expecting something nice and spectacular at the end, well, forget it. The game just loops around again to level 1. Hence why my score is like quite low. Only on sort of 4,000 points, or $4,000, and there's a looks like we can go up to sort of in the hundreds of thousands. But I don't think I'm going to be playing this on repeat over and over. But good for a quick blast, definitely. And 8.5 out of 10 from me. So we're coming to the end of the last train, and then the final shootout against the last bad guy for our reward of $950. And that was very fluky there, actually. And there we go. That's the bounty hunter completed. So yeah, and it just loops around to level 1 again. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, 8.5 out of 10 from me. And I'll see you all again soon. Alright, cheers. Goodbye.